This morning I'm starting in the beautiful Valley of Fire State Park, and I'm going to be hiking up into the Muddy Mountains. You can see the ridge line behind. I'm going up there. I'm heading up to the ridge ahead. I'm going to cut right up here on this slope you can see. I've been down that slope but never up it, but I don't expect any issues with it. I've been all the way out the ridge to the right. So today I think I'm going to go to the left and see what I can get into back there. It's warm though. It's already really warm, so I don't know how far I'll make it today. This is mistletoe. It's a parasitic plant, but I always know it's spring when I can smell the mistletoe. Right before and when it's blooming, it has the most incredibly sweet, beautiful fragrance. And this one I can smell right now, so spring is definitely on the way. Lots of little bees. I'm climbing up the higher peaks in the back of the cliffs that sit above Valley of Fire. Really steep up through here. Steeper than I thought. I finally made it up through these steep cliffs to the ridge line. The plan is to head out this ridge to a peak out there labeled 1058 meters. And then, if I can, I'm probably going to cross the ridge over there and go up this little bump too. And then I will descend one of these two gullies, which are a lot more gentle. I do not want to descend the way I came up. It's very steep and very loose. This is the view back the other way. I've been to a lot of these peaks over here. I climbed this one from the White Basin side, which is on the opposite side. This bugger here, whew, I went right up this prominent ridge, right here. That one was a doozy of a climb. Probably one of the harder peaks I've done in the Muddies. And when I got to the top, the summit block was split in half and I was on the lower side and couldn't get across the gap. So I was like 10 feet from the summit. Someday I'll go and try and get back from the left side. And we'll see. It's very, very loose up in there. I'd like to get up this one too sometime. I'm up on the peak labeled 1058. Yay! It's not a super dramatic peak, but it's one I've wanted to get up for some time. It's just tucked away back in. It's not easy to get to, no matter which side you come from. You can see Muddy Peak over there. And view down the ridge. Valley of Fire. Over here are the fire peaks. North, South, and Bighorn. That's a really nice ridge to hike up in there. I've been up there a bunch of times and even camped on top. And over here, we have Sandy Hook Peak. This is one of my favorite peaks in the Muddies. I'd probably number 2. The hike up, the way I've gone up that one is really dramatic, really beautiful. In fact, I can see my route from here. But it starts over there by the Longwell Ridges. And there you can see Fire Benchmark and East Longwell Ridge. I've been on these little bumps over here too, and down a bunch of these canyons. I love the Muddies. It's like a second home to me. This is one of the few peaks out here that I haven't been up yet. Someday. Almost to the top of this little bump. The Muddies have tons of old sea fossils in them. And here I've come across a really amazing rock with just tons of rugose coral. Oh, they're really, really nice ones. And here I found a really, really nice gastropod, a type of snail shell, and it's completely crystallized, which is absolutely beautiful. There's one beside it that's not quite as nice. I'm on the second little peak of the day. This one sits out front and is lower than the one I was on before. Really spectacular views over Valley of Fire. Noisy raven out there. I had always intended to climb this bump via this ridge, but I was so close to it today. I was like, oh well, I might as well just walk over there, which I did. I would normally maybe descend this ridge, but parts of it look a little iffy, and I don't want to risk having to reclimb the ridge and go back down. So I'll go down one of the easier gullies. So I had come down this gully and avoided the ridge that I was on the little peak of, and came upon a massive dry fall. It's huge, and I can't see what it does down here either. So even if I could find a way around, which I think I could, I'm not sure. I may hit more bad stuff down here. I could probably go over here and around and down, but I just don't know. My other option is to go back up and around this lump beside me, which I think I'm gonna do. I'm below the peak I was on earlier. That's 1058 there. It's really interesting how the layers of rock are here. Anyway, I have to get up to this little saddle, so I do have to regain some elevation, but it's not too bad. I'm working my way down the other gully that I saw from above that was an option, and I hit another dry fall, but luckily this one had plenty of ways to get around it. Wasn't too bad. Lots of sandpaper plant here. This stuff has a pungent odor, almost like I compare it to a porta potty. It's not very pleasant. There's the gully I came down. And here's the gully that I tried to come down and hit that huge dry fall. And there's the little peak I was up on top. You can see the ridge is a little iffy, just right through the middle. Just was enough to not, I didn't feel confident about descending it. So I may still try and get up it someday, but we'll see. Still have one level to descend to get back into Valley of Fire. This little bird over here is giving me hell. I can't believe I found another radio Sunday. I have found, at this point, maybe 15 to 20 of them, all in different places. I found them in the Spring Mountains, out in the Jimblenan Wilderness, Pinto Valley, and the Muddies, of course. Unbelievable that I found so many of them around here. They are weather balloons, basically. They send them up to take weather readings and then they fall back to Earth. And unfortunately, leave this litter, which I'll pick up and take with me. I'm right at the spot where I dropped down into Valley of Fire. This is the same way I came up. Just got to get down this gully and then it's a short walk back out to my car on the main road.